Hello and welcome to Babu's allotment plot. This is Saturday the 30th of April and I've just arrived at about midday just to do some work and to see what's going on. So welcome, this is my first video I've ever done, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm not actually sure how big the plot actually is, but this is a full plot which we've had for approximately 5 years or so. So what have I got going on? Right, so this is my first row, and in here I've planted some onions this spring. I've got fenugreek growing here, a row which I planted 2 weeks ago. This is some garlic which I planted earlier in April, so that's coming through. And the rest of my first row, all of this here, is garlic which I planted in October, November of last year, which is growing quite well, although I do have some signs of rust, but I always have that each year, so I'm not that bothered so far. And here I've got this plot which is where all my remaining onions are going. That's the end of my first row, and then I've obviously got a little shed here and a greenhouse where I'm trying to grow some seeds. What have I got growing in here? I've got some peas growing which are actually coming up. These were planted I think last week or maybe the week before. I think they're 2 weeks old actually. I've got some of the seeds growing, so these are my little onions that I've got in trays, and they are ready to go out later today. I've got some cucumber plants that I've seemed to have wilted because they haven't been watered. As you can see, they're exceptionally dry. I've got some courgettes, some runner beans planted. I've got some iris bulbs that are planted in pots because I'm not quite sure where I want to put them just yet. And I've got some little marigold seedlings that have appeared, which is quite exciting. So not a great deal is happening. I've got some Brussels sprouts actually out of all my brassicas. They're the only ones that seem to be coming up so far. May have the odd cauliflower or two. Yeah, not much going on so far. So that's my greenhouse. And then in my second row, which I haven't touched yet, I've got a bed of overgrown strawberries which have been moved here last year. And this plot actually gets a lot of weeds, so it's actually quite a bit of a nightmare to keep that one tidy. And then this is my second row, and as you can see I've got a load of spinach. I've got 3 beds of spinach out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other 2 have sort of weeded over winter. This will all come out later, perhaps next month, as the brassicas will be going in this second row. And then this is my third row, which I've covered up and will remain covered up until I'm ready to plant the peas and beans. And last year I had tomatoes in here, but they weren't very good as I had a lot of blight. And this is actually my flower patch and fruit patch, which, as you can see, succumbs to the weeds every single year. We've got some lovely daffodils that I keep picking them, which is why we don't have many flowers. And so I need to sort that out, because this plot anyway, I have some dahlia bulbs that are in here, which I always forget where they are, so I always end up digging them up a little bit. And I've got at the back there, which is full of weeds, is where the gladioli lives, some bulbs which I planted a few years ago, so that needs a good sort out. And this is the very end row, so you may say the first row. And in here, with the help of my aunt for the past 2 weeks, we've managed to plant all the potatoes. As you can see, some of it's covered, although the plastic has blown off. And this is because it was really, really cold last week, so we decided to just cover it up just in case. Clearly we didn't do a very good job, but as you can see, we have planted potatoes. That's all done. I've got actually a little bit of space, so I could squeeze another row if I wanted to, but I'm not going to, and I may just use that as an overflow of anything I have. And this is a greenhouse that we had that's taken a lot of beatings this year. We reckon that over winter time somebody may have just kicked it in because it's sort of been pushed off of its frame, so that needs a lot of TLC, but it goes sort of beyond my skill set. And then we've just got some materials, rubbish, which I just keep there. So this is it. This is the end of April view of the plot. It is quite a big plot, but it's actually quite exciting because this is the first year that I've actually managed to already nearly fill 2 rows worth. So I've only actually got 2 rows worth to concentrate on, and obviously concentrate on the weeds that get in the way of the paths, cause problems. But other than that, this is the end of April. See you soon. Hope you enjoyed it.